If you are able to go through the purports, please do so. So it will be very helpful in getting a solid understanding of what Bhagavad Gita is. So we will start today with prayers. If anyone wants to do the prayers who have not done so far, uh, um, is there anybody who wants to do the prayers who have not done so far?
I can try, Mataji.
Yes.
I don't know if I will be able to, but I can try.
Yeah, trying is what we want. So be confident and yeah, you can do. Let me share the screen. Okay.
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagragartam Saha Gana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sa Jivam Sadavaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamcha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along with the elder brother Sanatana Goswami, as well as Raghunatha Dasa and Raghunatha Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta, and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya Gadadhara Srivasa and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates Sri Lalita and Vishakha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. O my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distress and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Tapata Kancha Gaurangi Radha Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. I offer my respect to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitam pavanabhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire tree, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisances to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasa and all other in the line of devotion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Very beautiful, Mataji. So nicely done. Thank you so much. So we will also say Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra and start our discussion. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Okay, so we were discussing chapter 6. So today also I have to leave early, maybe by 9. So we can try and wrap up. So just to brush what we did last class, what is the nature of the mind? From verses 24 to 34.
It gets distracted.
Yeah, it gets distracted and
hard to control.
sorry,
Very hard to control the mind.
very hard to control the mind. Okay. Yes, so
It flies away everywhere fast.
Yeah, obstinate and flickering and unsteady. Right. So the nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady. And so Krishna says that gradually one should try again and again to bring it back. Okay, what is the qualification of or characteristics of a true yogi? You can raise your hands, and so everyone can get a chance. Please raise your hands in Zoom. I'm not able to see everyone's video, so yeah, Abba Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The perfect yogi is a person who realizes the super soul, has self-realization, and he also sees that super soul in all other beings, maybe in any, I'm to say maybe an animal, maybe a human being, maybe anything. So he tries to visualize God in everyone, that super soul in everyone, and he treats them equally.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. And any other quality? Anyone else?
He treats day as night and night as day. I read somewhere.
Yeah, okay. That's from the second chapter, a self-realize. But from what we discussed, I'm sharing the screen. So please look at the verses and say, and please raise your hand so that we may not be, I mean, those people who
Yes, LA College.
is not left out. Okay. Chander Mataji.
He does the comparison to his own self, and he sees dog or animal, all living being as one, as himself.
Maybe, yeah, he sees in their happiness and their distress, like how his happiness and distress is very much matters to him. Like that way, the other person's happiness and distress also is not any less significant. That's a true equality. And what is Arjuna's reasoning to say that this system of yoga is impractical? Yes, Pratibha Mataji. You're able to unmute?
Arjuna said the system of yoga is impractical because the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, and to subdue it is more difficult than controlling the wind.
Yeah, exactly. So he's saying,
So this system of yoga is difficult.
Thank you, Mataji. So it's restless like a child, ruthless like a bully, relentless like a leech that is obstinate and very strong. So we have to read, I think, from text 35, right? Yeah, we did a cliffhanger. Yeah, 35 to 40. Anyone who has not read so far, please come forward to read these verses. We can take turns. Yes, Meera Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 35. I'm just going to close out these windows real quick. Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. Text 36. For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion. Text 37. Arjuna said, O Krishna, What is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism? Text 38. O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man, who is bewildered from the path of transcendence, fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere? Did you say 39 also, Mataji?
39 and 40.
Yes. Okay. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Text 40. I can't completely see it, Mataji. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Son of Partha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction, either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is a very significant answer by the Lord. So he is not saying, agreeing to Arjuna that yes, what you say is right. After the 4 adjectives that he gave, that controlling the mind is very hard. But Krishna says it's undoubtedly very difficult, but we got to do it. How? By practice and by detachment. So, what is a practice? Of course, Ashtanga Yoga is one process, but then it starting with only you need to go to the forest, live in a separate place, put the kusha grass, and then so many things, so many rules and regulations we are not able to follow. So this practice here means at this day and age, Bhakti Yoga is very easily. We don't need to change anything what we are doing now. Our job, our occupation, what we have to, our work, our family. What we have to do change is the attitude in which we are working. So we are. So he's saying that practice here means 9 process of devotional service, starting with hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping. So that is a practice again, right? It doesn't come overnight. But for any material success, also, we have to put effort. So, what to speak of? Spiritual success. And detachment from what? Detachment from something that will lead us away from Krishna or this practice. So one needs to have that. Like we put our calendar. In our calendar, we put, okay, this is the class. Okay, this time I'm going to read. This time I'm going to chant. So no matter what, anything else comes up also, that time is fixed for this. So we shouldn't let it floating. Okay, if I can, I will chant, or if I can, I will come. That way it doesn't work, because we always have so many things that are pulling us. So Krishna says that detachment from things um, that will take us away. And also in this, in the Bhakti Yoga process, when one is doing, one is executing, we can feel the results very tangible. What is the example is, if a person is hungry person is eating food, every morsel, every spoonfuls that he eats, he's getting a satisfaction that his hunger is appeased, there's no other proof that's required for that. So similarly, if we are following this Bhakti Yoga process, we can feel a transcendental satisfaction. And because of the transcendental satisfaction, mind is free from material objectives. Okay, I have to do this or that. No, this gives me so much happiness from inside. So I will give it this the priority. So that relishing comes. And another example is if we have a fever or some disease, so then there is prescribed thing that we have to do, uh, antibiotic. And then they also say that unless you recover, don't go again in the where the you could get contaminated. Rest, stay off. I mean, be at home, like they say, COVID. Stay at home. So all this, there is negative things that we don't do and positive things we do. To cure a disease, we need to take a medicine and also stop ourselves from doing things that would aggravate the disease. So both has to be simultaneously performed. So that's why he's saying that the proper diet is eating Krishna Prasadam. So we'll be able to think properly and do devotional service. And there is Krishna Prasadam for the body and also the holy name for the mind, intelligence, and the soul. So, and Krishna is concluding that we cannot have the cake and eat it too. If the mind is not controlled, then there's no question of self-realization. So only if a person is able to control the mind, then he's assured of success. And Krishna says that is my opinion. To stress, what is him? If God Himself has His opinion, then there's nothing more than that. And so Arjuna is immediately asking that what if a person is not able to attain success in this? Because either in Bhakti Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, one may be strayed away. Because why? Krishna Prabhupada says that he may not be sufficiently serious enough to follow this process. One day yes, one day no. So you see, despite constant endeavor, one may fail. First of all, one may not be sufficiently serious about following this process. Because if we are serious about doing something, then we will spend time for that. But if we are not, then it's easy to get distracted because we are not serious ourselves. And why we have to be serious? He's saying this: to pursue the transcendental path is more or less to declare war on the illusory energy. So we are declaring war. So when a person is in the war, then utmost attention, focus, doing things that is required at that point of time. So that is a thing. That means we are very serious about that. So consequently, when a person tries to escape the clutches of the illusory energy, she tries to defeat the practitioner by various allurements. We see, right, so many sages. It's a very common thing. Sages would meditate and apsaras will come with tinkling ankle bells and bangles. And then the sages, gave up his path of Ashtanga Yoga, and that way he's fallen down. A conditioned soul is already allured by the modes of material energies. I mean, in this day and age, there's no need of any, any allurement. We are already among so many things. So there's every chance of being allured again, even while performing transcendental disciplines. So this is a fact. And that's why a person pursuing this path is damn serious about this. And the main thing is association. If we don't hear for a week, or if we are not very serious, then we will miss it, and after many years we will come back to it. By that, sometimes many lifetimes also goes by. So this is called yoga chalita manasaha, or deviation from the transcendental path. Arjuna is inquisitive to know the results of deviation from the path of self-realization. So a person has started this, but he has not attained success in this. Due to worldly mindedness, he is taken away. See, he desists due to worldly mindedness, and so he doesn't complete his path. So, if a person is joining in a medical school or be a lawyer, and he says in the 5 year course he has done 3 years, will he get a certificate? Can he become a doctor? No, unless he completes the other two, cannot become a doctor. So is that applies for the spiritual life in the path of transcendence also? For a person who is not able to get success, that means he has lost both. Like even the 3 years is a waste, because nothing you can do with the 3 years if you don't finish the degree. So Arjuna's question is like that: his spiritual success is also gone, while his friends are happily going to movie and watching TV and drinking and doing all the things. He is spending time in Bhagavad Gita and reading or yoga, but he's not successful in this. So he's already lost out on the enjoyment part. So now, if he's not getting success in this also, he's like in nowhere. He's lost that and he's lost this also. Example he's giving is, in we see, packs of clouds moving in the sky. Sometimes there's a small cloud and then there is a huge cloud. The small cloud is part of the cloud is taken away due to the force of the wind from a small cloud and is trying to join the big cloud, but is not successful in joining the big cloud, so is dispersed in between. So it becomes a no entity. So that's why he's saying perish like a riven cloud. So this is my doubt, and please destroy this doubt. So this shows that Arjuna is trusting the Lord. And when the Lord is personally present as Bhagavan, his opinion and no who else could be there better to dispel his doubt. So Krishna is first saying that even a little advancement, a person, a transcendentalist, engaged in auspicious activities. Auspicious means that will bring eternally good. So there are, in the purport, Prabhupada is discussing how there are so many classifications of people, regulated and non-regulated. And people who are in non-regulated, they don't care about God or anything else, but they may be high achievers in material knowledge and material path. But still, however they are, if they don't use the human form of life for what it is meant, it is connect to the yoga, through the yoga process to the Supreme Lord, then their activities are not auspicious. It's considered to be inauspicious. But if a person has started with an auspicious activity, trying to chant and read, or in Ashtanga Yoga, trying to do something which may not be very practical in the age, but if there are one among millions for a person who's ready to leave everything, go to Himalayas and do, even for him, in both the cases, even a little bit that he has started, he says he'll never be overcome by evil, because that little bit stays forever. So 6.40 is this. And do you remember anybody remembers any verse similar to this? That even a little bit of advancement will not go away in vain. Okay, this is a homework to find out. It is, yeah, Meera Mataji.
I think I remember it from the slideshow that you were teaching us, Mataji. It's the reincarnation. So every time you reincarnate, you carry with you a lot of the previous surplus, punya. I don't know how to say that. Karma, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, I think you said safety, like a deposit that you make. Is that, I don't know if that's the right answer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Reena Mataji, Neha Vikrama Nashosti. Yes, 2.40. Chapter 2, text 40 also. Krishna is saying, even a little bit you do in this path, there is no loss or diminution. It's never lost. Our pious activities can be lost when we enjoy them. But the spiritual activities, when they are done, it's like, as you said, it's eternal in a deposit. It can never be taken away. So Krishna is telling that. And what happens for an unsuccessful yogi then? That is telling the next verses. Can anyone read 41 to 45? Yeah, Srinath Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the PS living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy.
They
Or
take part, they take birth in an aristocratic family or a devotee family,
Yes,
continue their devotional practice.
yes, ma'am.
okay,
We'll
uh,
wait. We'll
uh,
first finish reading and then we can discuss. Yeah, go ahead.
okay, text 42. Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world. Text 43. On taking such a birth, he revives and the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. O son of Kuru. Text 44. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always about the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. Text 45. And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, uh, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. Text 46. A
I will pause here.
yogi is than the
We'll pause.
okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we'll discuss this and then go the last two verses. So here, if you know the answer, raise your hand. Okay. So what are the two types of unsuccessful yogis? Uh, yes, Nirmala Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. One who falls from the beginner position and one who falls from the advanced position after practicing for a lot of years, maybe.
Thank you. Yes, that's true. Okay. One who falls from the beginner position, what is his next, where is his next birth?
I I remember you saying in the basic course that he will be born in an aristocratic family.
Mm. Yes, Mataji. After, this is from verse 41, right? So, he is born an unsuccessful yogi after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities. It's not Earth, definitely, because we don't see pious living entities here. The percentage is less, very less. Is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. This doesn't mean that all the aristocratic or rich people are unsuccessful yogis. But unsuccessful yogi can also be, among the rich people, he can be born in that. Why? Why is Krishna giving such a birth for someone who's fallen down in a short practice? Srivatsa.
Because material wealth is illusory energy and it is fleeting. It doesn't stay with you long term. So
Okay, but why
therefore,
is the yogi who's fallen down put into that position?
I don't know.
Okay, no problem. You tried. That's great. Uh, Reena Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think what I remember is that you said something like, so they don't have to struggle with the material existence. All their needs, worldly needs, are sort of easier to access, and then they can resume the spiritual path and continue the progress.
That's right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you,
So that
Mataji.
too, after many, many years of enjoyment. So if he does a little spiritual practice, it is equal to doing so many pious activities. Pious means sharing the wealth, charity, helping other people, doing something for service to others and for the society and for uh, helping the material, well-being for others in any way possible. That is the piety. It may not be connected with God, but if we help someone, then we get credited into our account. Okay, I give him something, so then I deserve something nice. When same thing happens when I do something bad, or when I take away somebody's rightful belonging, then actually I am ready to be debited from my account the same thing, because people don't know this simple fact. They are in power, you see. That's why Bhagavad Gita was mainly spoken to people in power, because power and money will spoil the person's consciousness, and with the tendency to enjoy, there is no limit to the wants, and then every now and then in every country there is a scandal, there is a scam. Many so many crores of rupees and dollars, and after some time we are some one or two will surface, but everyone is doing that. Why? Because they don't know this simple fact: what they give, they get back. So a little amount of spiritual practice, even if unsuccessful, will give so much piety to him that he deserves, because he deserves enjoyment in the pious living entities, which is normally very rare to attain. It's not easy to, it's like saving $1 like that. Many years of enjoyment, that much time to be in the pious living entities, he must have done 10 times more, spent the time and effort doing pious activities. But all those is like comes as a package when he's doing a little bit of spiritual activities, and he is desisting, because when he is in a beginner, there's lot of material desires. So because of being allured by material desires, he might have gone astray. So Krishna is giving him a chance to fulfill his material desires, to enjoy a lot, and then come back into the family of righteous people. It's not an easy thing also to be born with a nice background and a righteous, parents. Otherwise, we will imbibe a child who is born in the family of a thief, or they will imbibe only that quality. So this person is given in the righteous people and of rich aristocracy. Or so his material needs are met, or he's given some values from the very beginning of his life. Or so my next question is, is it the same for a person who is unsuccessful after long practice? Or what is the destination after long practice? Means he's almost done it, but not complete. Yeah. born in a family of devotees, born in a Vaishnava family. Why is he not given many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of pious living entities?
Entangled in enjoyment.
Uh,
And his spiritual life will go away.
Not exactly. Uh, he doesn't want it. Yes, that's right. He has already crossed that stage. Yeah. So he doesn't want it. So what's the use of, giving him that? He's gotten a little distracted, but he did not doesn't have big material desires to fulfill. So this also proves that Krishna is in our core of our hearts. Looking at each and every desire, what is there, what we have, how much clean we are. We have no idea about ourselves. But the Lord, within the core of the heart, He knows that. So, for a yogi who falls after a short practice, he is giving many, many years of enjoyment. But a person who falls after a long practice immediately is taking birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Such a birth is rare in the world. Krishna himself is saying, not everyone. The spiritual preceptors, acharyas, they may be uh, so very rarely, they're not one in 100, or I mean, even one in million, one in billions, it could be. And Srila Prabhupada, if you see that he's born in such a family that he imbibed the values of devotion to the Lord, seeing his father, after closing the shop, his dad will come and he will not accept anything until he does puja and offering to the deities, Radha Krishna, and he wanted to imitate. So he wanted a Radha Krishna. Even when he was young, he was given the deities to worship. And like that, he remembers going to a temple with his mom and standing for a long time, looking at the arati and other, uh, how the Lord is dressed. So, uh, so Krishna is saying such a rare birth is awarded. And for what purpose? So that he can revive the divine consciousness and then to achieve complete success. So if we hear Prabhupada's lectures, we can see that even when he was very small, something would have happened, and he is able to relate it to a particular concept. For example, my friend was discussing this example that he got into a bus along with his father, and the bus conductor is asking him, where, give me money, otherwise, you have to get down the bus. So immediately he shows his father. Here's my father. So he does not his headache to pay the bus fare because his father is with him. So similarly, he says for a devotee who's always dependent on the Lord, when anything comes, he can very easily, because he is convinced about the presence of the Lord, the Supreme Father with him, and he's always connecting with the Lord. So he's not bothered about what's happening in the material life because he's protected by the Lord and given enough intelligence to handle. So like this way, I mean, he's giving this example when he's like 70 years old in the lectures, but this happened when he was a young boy. So we were reflecting on this, that like how he is able to connect some incident that happened when he was very young. That means he's already having the divine consciousness even at that age, right? So is making further progress is easy, and after that, after many years of practice in Ashtanga Yoga, one has to practice many years. But in Bhakti Yoga, since if it is deliberately, diligently done every day, seriously, then that much, it doesn't take so many births of practice to attain that. Or rather, another thing is that we are all able to sit here now and discuss Bhagavad Gita means that we have spent many, many births of practice. And after that, we are given this chance to understand something that is, that's like somebody has prepared a dinner and giving us on the serving on the plate. So Bhagavad Gita is like this. With no endeavor, the Lord is doing all the talk, using Arjuna as a pawn, but we are getting answers for many, many questions for many, many lifetimes. Okay, the last two verses. Can someone read? Pratibha Mataji, do you want to read 46 and 47? Okay, she's there. Yeah, Srivatsa.
Yes.
Oh, there. Okay, Prabhu. Mataji, you read.
Let I'm reading. Yes, Mataji. A yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances be a yogi. And of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and highest of all. That is my opinion.
Right. So before discussing this, there is one more very important history that is mentioned in this purport is the activities of King Bharata. Okay, there are 3 chapters. When you're free, you can go through this. So this chapter in Bhagavatam, it's Canto 5, Chapter 7. So there is a king called Bharat Maharaj, and he had what are all the sons, and he had a great kingdom. So this he is on whom this India was named Bharata. So he was a perfect king, everything, and he almost attained love for God, very, very advanced. Okay, and that was his stage. Then what happens is, in the second thing, even though he was very elevated, he fell down due to his attachment to a young deer. One day after Bharat Maharaja had taken his bath as usual in the river Gandaki and was chanting his mantra, he saw a pregnant deer come to the river to drink water. Suddenly there could be heard the thundering roar of a lion, and the deer was so frightened that it immediately gave birth to its calf. It then crossed the river but died immediately thereafter. Maharaja Bharata took compassion upon the motherless calf, rescued it from the water, took it to his ashrama, and cared for it affectionately. He gradually became attached to his young deer and always thought of it affectionately. As it grew up, it became Maharaja Bharata's constant companion, and he always took care of it. Gradually, he became so absorbed in thinking of this deer that his mind became agitated. As he became more attached to the deer, his devotional service slackened. Although he was able to give up his opulent kingdom, he became attached to the deer, thus, he fell down from his mystic yoga practice. Once, when the deer was absent, Maharaja Bharata was so disturbed that he began to search for it. While searching and lamenting the deer's absence, Maharaja Bharata fell down and died. Because his mind was fully absorbed in thinking of the deer, he naturally took his next birth from the womb of a deer. However, he was considerably advanced spiritually. He did not forget his past activities, even though he was in the body of a deer. He could understand how he had fallen down from his exalted position And remembering this, he left his mother deer and again went to Pulaha Ashrama. He finally ended his fruitive activities in the form of a deer, and when he died, he was released from the deer's body. So far, we have heard Apsara, Ramba, Urvasi, and Menaka, but even a deer is not anything less. So we might have our deers, our attachment to whatever within the deep of the heart, family, and assets, or whatever absorbs us, the thought. That's what is going to come, because he says that because his mind was fully absorbed in thinking of the deer, he naturally took his next birth from the womb of a deer. But he was considerably advanced spiritually, so he did not forget his past activities. So this is the protection Krishna is telling of a yogi who's fallen down. He became a deer, but still he could remember the previous thing. Then what happened? After he was released from the body of a deer, I'm not reading everything, I'm just saying there's a very nice thing you can read. So he took birth in the Brahmana family. He was again named Bharata, and he remained like a deaf and a dumb person, but always internally he was remembering the Lord. And people treated him very poorly, and there were dacoits wanted to kill him, but he did not even speak even at that point. See, thus when the dacoits brought Bharat Maharaja before the goddess Kali and raised a chopper to kill him, the goddess Kali became immediately alarmed due to the mistreatment of a devotee. She came out of the deity and, taking the chopper in her own hands, killed all the dacoits there. Thus, a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can remain silent despite the mistreatment of non-devotees. Rogues and dacoits who misbehave toward a devotee are punished at last by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that was his character. Then, and the next life, how he was known as Jada Bharat, and he was the king. Rahugana was carrying a palanquin. He was forced to carry the palanquin, and then he doesn't want to step on an ant. So, Rahugana is chastising Jadabharata with filthy language. But Jadabharata gave him instructions. At that time, he understood that, oh, he's a great saintly person. I wanted to understand more. And then after this, further few chapters are their conversations. Right? So, here is how the Lord is protecting, even though he went into the body of a deer. Okay, now Krishna is telling his conclusion at the end of the yoga. What is his best thing? So he's saying here, can anyone read this purport? Yes, Pramod Srivatsa.
Okay. Purport. When we speak of yoga, we refer to linking a consciousness with the supreme absolute truth. Such a process is named differently by various practitioners in terms of the particular method adopted. When the linking process is predominantly in fruitive activities, it is called karma yoga. When it is predominantly empirical, it is called jnana yoga. And when it is predominantly in a devotional relationship with the Supreme Lord, it is called bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga, or Krishna consciousness, is the ultimate perfection of all yogas, as will be explained in the next verse. The Lord has confirmed herein the superiority of yoga, but he has not mentioned that it is better than bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is full spiritual knowledge, and therefore nothing can excel it. Asceticism without self-knowledge is imperfect. Empiric knowledge without surrender to the Supreme Lord is also imperfect. And fruitive work without Krishna consciousness is a waste of time. Therefore, the most highly praised form of yoga performance mentioned here is Bhakti Yoga, and this is still more clearly explained in the next verse.
Thank you. If you see the verse, tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi. Tapasvibhya means than the ascetics, greater than the yogi is greater than the ascetics. Jnanibhyopi matodikaha. Jnani is than the wise. also the yogi is greater, considered greater. Karmibhyas chadiko yogi. Then the fruitive workers, also the yogi is greater. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Therefore, in all circumstances, be a yogi. Krishna is telling. So the yogi is greater than the tapasvi, greater than the jnani, greater than the karmi. But did not mention that bhakti bhyas chadiko yogi. That yogi is greater than the bhakta is not mentioned. So that he reserves in the next verse. So yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamomatah. So of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Again, he's signing off with his opinion. And this is a similar thing to what we read now. The culmination of all kinds of yoga practice lies in Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are but means to come to the point of Bhakti in Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise, why is he telling this now? He can say that yogi is someone who's meditating, who's self-aware, who is meditating on the void or the light or who merges. No, he clearly says who thinks of me within himself and bhajate renders transcendental loving service to me. So that means what? All the yogis have to come to bhakti path finally. So that's why it is mentioned yoga actually means bhakti yoga. All other yogas are progressions toward the destination of bhakti yoga. From the beginning of karma yoga to the end of bhakti yoga is a long way to self-realization. Karma yoga without fruitive results is the beginning of this path. When karma yoga increases in knowledge and renunciation, the stage is called jnana yoga. When jnana yoga increases in meditation on the super soul by different physical processes and the mind is on him, it is called Ashtanga Yoga. And when one surpasses the Ashtanga Yoga and comes to the point of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, it is called Bhakti Yoga, the culmination. Factually, Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal. But to analyze Bhakti Yoga minutely, one has to understand these other yogas. The yogi who is progressive is therefore on the true path of eternal good fortune. One who sticks to a particular point and does not make further progress is called by that particular name. Karma yogi, jnana yogi or dhyana yogi, raja yogi, hatha yogi, etc. If one is fortunate enough to come to the point of bhakti yoga, it is to be understood that he has surpassed all other yogas. Therefore, to become Krishna conscious is the highest stage of yoga, just as when we speak of Himalayan, we refer to the world's highest mountains, of which the highest peak, Mount Everest, is considered to be the culmination. It's a very fantastic paragraph explaining the concept of Bhakti Yoga and why at all Krishna is discussing other yogas. Okay, I thought I will do 7th chapter also. But time is up, so we will pause here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. If you have any questions for the next 10 minutes, yes, Srivatsa.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji. You ended off saying, the culmination of all these yogas. But when we refer to yogic sciences, often Shiva comes into the picture. And especially nowadays, I know it's being popularized. He's known as Adi Yogi, yogic sciences, different practices. I was in fact also looking up Tibetan Buddhism, and they also have Shaivite roots. So my question essentially then would be, how did these become popularized? And are they lower in terms of how far you can go, as opposed to, let's put Bhakti Yoga aside for now. I'm bought on that. But the other yogas.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. So, Jnana Yoga, the path of Jnana Yoga basically culminates in the impersonal liberation.
Yeah.
And so, generally, the Jnana yogis are tending more towards meditation on Lord Shiva, and at the mostly, if they're very fortunate and they are following the instructions of Shiva and following that, they go to Kailash, where Lord Shiva, what are they doing with with Lord Shiva in Kailash is explained. That they are also sitting in meditation along with Lord Shiva. Okay, there's a huge banyan tree, and there are so many sages, and they are able to see the Lord and Parvati meditating on whom? That Shiva is telling in Rudra Gita that I'm meditating on Sankarshana, from whom, he has come, like that. So Krishna is okay. I mean, if someone wants to pursue the path, Krishna makes that happen. So that is maximum possible liberation is merging into the impersonal Brahman effulgence. So we know that Krishna is present as Brahman, the Lord is present as Brahman effulgence, that is transcendence beyond what is going on in the world. And then the next expansion is present as Paramatma in everyone's heart. That's the next level. And Bhagavan is a personality. So that's why there are so many temples where the Lord is there. And in fact, the man, we are made in the image of the Lord. So he is there as a person, as a transcendently sweet person whom the his friends can play with. They can give him time out. It is that the Gopas who play with Krishna will give him time out because Krishna will not follow the rules, being a naughty child. So they are able to have such intimate interactions of love and affection, the personality of the Lord, which is nothing more. There's nothing more than that.
So once personality comes into the picture, essentially there is a relationship. But I mean, it's not any personality. We're talking supreme personality of Godhead. So Bhakti Yoga in that case would be infinite expansion potential, right?
Yeah. As you said, when there is a personality involved, that's when bhakti's or the service part comes up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, one just wants liberation or moksha outside this world, then they merge into the effulgence of the Lord, Brahmananda. But acharyas have experienced that, or they have made so many bhashyas or explanations, commentaries on what is
Commentaries.
Brahmananda compared to being a dasya of the Lord or serving the Lord in one of the rasas. So Krishna, lets people choose what they want to do and facilitates that as being Paramatma in their heart.
Yeah. So as Kali Yuga goes on, will the truth become minority, more and more minority?
Yeah.
Okay.
This much the truth is itself is present because of the a brief period of Kali Yuga. How much percentage is 10,000 in 400,000?
Oh, very small.
Right?
400 for less than 10, 5, something like 1 point something.
Right.
Yeah.
This 10,000 years only is considered to be a golden age in Kali Yuga, which is 400,000 years.
Oh, I see.
Because of this, we are able to get bhakti and very easily access. And, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come and given the holy name and all. But this is like really, what to say, oasis in the desert for us. We are fortunate, we will cling on. We will make our life successful in this 10,000 years, which is very less percentage. But once 10,000 is gone, again Kali starts fully.
I see. Thank you, Mataji. Shubhratri, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Meera Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. If there's no time, it's okay. We can take it up next time. But I know you had to leave early. But my question is the material attraction. I'm still kind of struggling with that. Is it okay if we continue to connect with Krishna and still? I'm sorry, Krishna. Sorry about that. As long as we stay connected with Krishna, is it still okay to pursue our material endeavors, or?
That's what is possible now.
Yeah.
Because we are not, sages to renounce everything and go. And even if we renounce and go, how much we are renouncing the heart, only Krishna knows. So patiently we do this practice of getting attached to the Lord, understand why I'm doing that, and starting to connect with the Lord through His holy names. Once we start this, then everything else will fall in place. So it's in the beginning, this is how we start. So Krishna is we try to include Krishna in our life. And then as we see, uh, Krishna will make sure that if we don't mess up and if we don't run away in between, he will make sure that it's like we are put on a conveyor belt. If we don't jump out of it, we will reach the final product will come. So he will make sure that, eventually we will reach that place of yogi where we are seeing the Lord everywhere and we are not able to forget him, neither he forgets us. So these are not utopian ideas that it's not possible for a practicing devotee. We are all trying to practice, but the result is rest assured. So we continue to go in this path.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So it's okay to say Krishna wants me to have that bag or doing it in Krishna's name.
Yeah, whatever is not will make us suffer in the future. That activities, no.
Okay.
Sinful activities, we have to definitely refrain from. But but we continue to do bhakti, and then rest everything will fall in place. But we put our determination and keep going in this path.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Chander Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have a question, even though you explained a little bit already. Um, uh, the difficult part, what Krishna describes here of eightfold yoga, we see that is more popular in Kali Yuga all over the world. And so here Krishna is saying bhakti yoga is very simple and achievable. But my question is, uh, not everybody is reading Bhagavad Gita in the whole world, uh, but they are doing yoga, here and there, or maybe different yoga and all that. But they are somehow connecting. They feel some relief or some healing and all that. So, are they on this transcendental path? It can be like they can achieve there, or like my question is mainly on eightfold yoga, what Krishna explained. And I see people doing in different nationalities and under, I even practice with them, and they feel quite connected to the universe. And so, is that achievable for them? What Krishna is saying here to Arjuna?
Yeah. So what we are seeing that the yoga they are doing, basically, if you see 90% of the yoga practices are to do with the physical body and upkeep of health and keep this machine running and working and trying to solve the problems by doing different postures, which is fantastic, which is very good. But we are not just physical. beings know. We work with the mind, and then the intelligence, and then the soul. So, what the majority of the people are calling yoga and they are doing everything is only connecting the physical level, are trying to fix the physical problems, or trying to be physically healthy, which is important for a yogi. But why the yogi does that? Otherwise, if he doesn't do that, and like us, he eats everything, and then he will spend half the life going to the doctor and deceased. So he wants to have a health, good health. For what? For trying to pursue this path. So that knowledge is cut off, as you say. Nobody reads Bhagavad Gita. Uh, there's a very superficial understanding. So they are like they are on the path, or if I should say, it's like if you uh, sometimes the queue for, if you have to give an example of Black Friday, or in the Disney during the summer vacation or during the December vacation, is the everywhere is so much queue. So people come to Orlando, Florida, go to Disney and other attractions. And for each attraction, there will be a serpentine queue. The queue will take 2 hours, 3 hours wait. But the attraction itself is only 2 minutes or 5 minutes. But for that 2 hours wait. So similarly, these people are somewhere standing in the queue, thinking that, they are getting, but at least they're somewhere nearby. They know what is yoga and other things. So that's why when we present Bhagavad Gita, we present this. Actually, we see Bhagavad Gita is the mother of yoga book. What is not mentioned in Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, everything has a linking process. But unfortunately, that linking is cut. Only the front, if can a business establishment manage only with the front desk? Front desk is front desk, but inside we have to, other things back end, nothing else is there. So that is the position of the so-called yoga practices, but that is good for good health. But at least they know the word yoga, because Krishna is again repeatedly telling yoga and yogi. So telling yoga is, we can consider it as repeating one word from Bhagavad Gita, which has come out from the Lord's lotus mouth. So they are somewhere there. But if we can present them this understanding along with the physical aspect of taking care of the physical body, if they can understand what the spirit needs, and how the mind can be dovetailed and the intelligence can be pure, to understand this harmony between physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual level, then they are successful. So that's why you see here he mentioned one who sticks to a particular point and does not make further progress is called by that particular name. Dhyana yogi, or Raja yogi. Because why? This is all like different path, different rungs of a ladder. So ladder is one step after the other step after the other step. But if one stands to one step only, sits down there, one step of the ladder, then he is given that particular name. But if one is fortunate enough to come to the point of Bhakti Yoga, it is to be understood that he has surpassed all other yogas.
But Mataji, in one of the verses, Krishna says, Yoga Karam Sukoshalam. Like, unless we do this eightfold of yoga, our action won't be the right one, right? Is that the meaning of that?
Surprised that there is nowhere he's telling yoga as that eightfold yoga process. Eightfold yoga process is only one words, one starting of the yoga is what he says. Okay.
Krishna is saying yoga karam sukoshalam. So unless people don't do this yoga as a even exercise, their action is very much all over the place, like not right. They cannot make the right decision sometime, and
That yoga is not this physical gymnastics. Buddhi yukto jahati he ube sukrita dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujyasva yoga karmasu kaushalam.
right.
You can only take this last line, yoga karmasu kaushalam. But yoga, before that he's saying, see, buddhi yuktaha. One who is engaged in devotional service with buddhi or intelligence. Jaha tiha can rid of even in this life ube shukrita dushkrite, both good and bad results. Therefore, you be engaged, and that is the art of doing all activities. These three lines where it has gone. What is the art of performing all activities? Doing like this. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Rather, you do your work like yoga when you are engaged in devotional service, and we can rid ourselves of both good and bad reactions. Will the only physical aspect will rid us of good and bad reaction? They do yoga very well, and then throughout the day they plan how to cheat others, how much thing I can take, and how much girlfriends I can keep. You see
But
the
Mata,
mentality now. The good health that is got by yoga is
right.
if the the
Mataji, Mataji, when they come for yoga, they feel that their mind makes the right decision. And it works for them better.
it's a start.
Like through the body, when they do this body stretches and yoga asana, their mind also get affected to have more intelligence. In other words,
Okay, but what if they stop performing yoga?
then
And
they
why
will
did
be.
they do that, Zumba yoga, this yoga, that yoga with the music and all? Because doing yoga itself is not a very palatable thing. Because it doesn't involve the mind and very less percentage. You see, doing yoga itself in a group, we pay money, we go and then we do. But that itself is not a pleasurable activity. But when you do yoga and then chant also, so that way mind is involved, intelligence is involved, and the spirit is also getting filled. Because see, this is what the thing is. One's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender unto Lord Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Because not even a minute, every breath that we take, what we think, what we are doing is all recorded in detail. Okay, so we have to get back. So every action, every thought, every breath is noted. What we have done, it will come back. So that's why it's very difficult to get out of this cycle of action and reaction. That's why it says chained victimization. Very wonderful words. So, unless they know Krishna and surrender to Krishna, it's not possible to attain that. Yoga is just that's what it's a kindergarten level. Because we entered into kindergarten, there's a difference between a child entering into kindergarten and a child graduating from 12th grade. Although both are going to school.
So Mataji, is that for beginners? Like, you think it's a wise they should do yoga?
For Bhakti Yoga, the yoga is not required at all. Ashtanga Yoga is not required. Bhakti Yoga is independent. Even if a person, uh, Bhakti Yoga was performed, I mean, one article I read, my God, one Mataji lost both in Poland. She lost both her legs and in an accident, so she cannot uh, walk. She is in wheelchair bound. how she will do yoga. But she's bliss. She's in bliss. Why? Reading Bhagavatam again and again, chanting and eating a little, and not at all be sorry about her state of life. And she's very happy inside. And at 24 hours, so many hours, she's chanting so many rounds, and she's very blissful. So, Bhakti Yoga, there is no condition of, preliminary condition that one has to do Ashtanga Yoga. Although I'm telling for our lifestyle, that's a good thing to keep the joints, because this body is also a machine. To keep this machine working, we need to oil, maintain the internal parts and do all that. So that for that aspect, it is good, but nothing more than that.
Thank you, Mataji. I have more questions, but we will do it next time on this topic.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll have to close because
Yeah.
it's already 9:30. So thank you all very much for your patience and wonderful questions. I say that's making the discussion meaningful. So please keep reading the rest of the purports, and if you have any questions, you can put it in the group or write it to me, and we can uh, take up in the next part. Okay. Regulation of prana. Okay, thank you all devotees for your wonderful participation, and I'm very thankful for your valuable time. And I also enjoy reading with you again and again, because this is something that we should not leave a gap. We are planning, since there are, on Thursday we have an event where and senior devotees are visiting Charlotte, and I might need to go. So we may not have a class in that case. So I will inform the previous day, Wednesday, if you're having a class or not. But we'll continue to do the homework. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.